Welcome in to We Gon' Figure It Out.
Huh. Alright. It says celebrate. This is your 50th broadcast. Well, it's not our 50th We Gon' Figure It Out, but it's the 50th time that I've actually gone live.
That's a lot. I didn't realize that you've gone
I've
live.
gone live, I guess, for a lot of different things. But this is We Gon' Figure It Out. What's We Gon' Figure It Out about?
This week is about what to do when you don't know what to do.
What to do when you don't know what to do. So this
What
has...
does that mean?
So, well... so
hey, Cheryl.
This has one of those things where we all get into those situations where we can get stale, we can get tired, we have a lot of different situations in our life that we don't know what to do, and we hit a rut. And it doesn't mean that we're doing a bunch of stuff wrong, we just hit a wall. And so sometimes you gotta figure it out, you know, and that's the theme of our show, is We're Gonna Figure It Out. So on a personal level, I think both of us have experienced something, because we're dreamers that met each other, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when me and Regina met each other, she was planning on leaving. She was planning on leaving Tulsa for Dallas, and I was planning on
going back to Kansas City.
No, God, no. No, I didn't really know what I wanted to do with my future, but I did know that I wasn't going to stay in the Midwest. And so we stayed here, and there was a brief period there where I was wanting to go to Portland and pursue a job, and I ended up working at a little radio station, and that kept me here. But I've always wanted to really pursue getting, kind of moving on.
Yeah.
And so we've reached this place of being a little bit stale and just trying to say, okay, so, all right, God, what's next? Because we never want to hop out the boat and just say we're going to do this, that, or another. We have a pretty good life here, and we absolutely love everything we're doing. So we're not saying or making some major announcement that we're about to move forward. Hey, Danny, he's running for Congress.
Wow.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
So we reached that point, but here's the thing. When you reach that point when you realize you want to go and pursue your dreams, sometimes taking care of the everyday tasks can get
mundane.
Because you're still dreaming of your goals. So we've talked before, and we'll always talk about setting goals, like on an individual level. But when you're setting a goal and you're waiting and you're being patient, what happens next? Like, what do you do when you're being patient and you're trying to see what's on the other side?
Yeah.
And still enjoy everything that's coming at you. Because for us, that's kind of the point where we are right now. We've tried to figure out a lot of different things to kind of get this going, because we're dedicated to wanting to live in the community we're in.
Yeah.
So much so that we were looking for a house, but we never found one. Like, there was never one that was good enough.
No.
Right? And so we've continued.
So it's like back to the drawing board on that. We've kind of just halted the house hunting and decided, okay, let's save more money and maybe get something that we really, really want. So.
Right. And so at work, it's not, both of us have careers that we really enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
I would honestly say that both of us aren't in a career field or doing something that we want to walk away from at this point.
Speak for yourself. No, I'm just kidding.
No,
I love my job.
And so for us, that's kind of one of the things. So the suggestion that we definitely have for individuals we are asking people to even respond to us when they watch this video, because not everyone's going to watch it live. But if you watch the video, make a comment and tell us, what do you do when you get to that point when you're trying to figure out what to do when you don't know what to do?
Yeah.
When you don't know, well, what's next? And so I know this sounds kind of sporadic, because I'm in two different places here, because I'm mentioning where we are personally, and then the topic in itself is what to do when you don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Which, for us, we know we're waiting, but it's but what do we do? Because we can't figure out how to make it more. We're waiting on something. So what more can we do in our preparation and our plans of life? And this is where it's always important to have people in your life that, that can speak into you, that've been through the experiences before as well.
Mm-hmm.
At the age frame that we are in, a lot of people go through this, where they figure out, okay, I don't want to be 40 in the same place doing the same thing.
Yeah.
And so for the next 4 or 5 years, that's going to be our struggle.
Right.
That's going to be our thing. What do we do to try to add some extra something to this before we move on to the next level? Or do we jump ship and just move to the next level?
I don't know. I've been praying about that. I've just been kind of, because I think for me, I don't know if you're in the same place that I'm in. I think you've had some moments, but I think for me, I'm really like, this can't be life.
Yeah.
I mean, there's got to be more. It's just, for me, it's like, right now, I just feel like I'm just going through the basic routine of everyday life. I run, 6 days out of the week.
What do you mean run?
Not business.
That's you.
Driving here and there and to and from, and the kids and this and that and work, and everything is just the same, and it's getting to the point where it's like,
yeah,
this is not what I want.
So for us as believers, obviously we're going to say that, the easy thing, like you've already said, is you pray. You've been praying about that because you don't like the way you feel. Mm-hmm. And I think the key thing is when you feel this way, the reason why we're having this show is because when you feel this way, I want people to know that it isn't necessarily like a big blaring sin issue. Like, people feel guilty about feeling like this.
Yeah.
And it doesn't, for us, we're not saying that.
I've had my feelings of guilt, but, I know that I'm doing everything, that I'm supposed to be doing. I know that I'm not out of his will. It's just, I don't know if, I feel like he's pushing me to something more, and I just don't know what that is yet.
Yeah. So, what's Cheryl say?
She said, well, you could always move to another country like I did in my 30s.
Honestly, Canada is looking quite attractive right now.
Indeed.
It really is.
Indeed.
I think, and that's one of the key things, like trying to figure out what to do when you don't know what to do. The temptation to do something kind of outrageous is always there. Mm-hmm. Something spontaneous. And it's like, for us, like, that's the big thing. Having 4 kids.
I was going to say, Cheryl could probably pick up and do that because she has no kids.
And at the time.
At the time.
Yeah, and so for
still doesn't have
well, her and Jerry got adopted family, that type of thing.
Oh.
So, I would definitely say that.
Look, she's laughing at us because we're really figuring.
So, I would say, for me, I don't want to, I always want to be a responsible parent. I don't want to take what I want to do and all my hopes and my dreams and my aspirations and say, okay, now I've got kids that are about to go to college, and then I just hop ship and I go somewhere else and I start trying to explore when it's time for them to actually start exploring, and I should be supporting them. Yeah. I don't necessarily have to support them financially, but showing them a certain level of stability. But here's the thing, though. Yeah, I'm not supporting them financially. I mean, but once you're grown, you're grown.
That is horrible.
But no, it's not. Yes. But because here's the thing. They'll be all right for it. They'll be better for it. But the whole point that I was making is, if I can show them stability, then at least that's an example that I would give. But here's the bigger problem with that, right? Mm-hmm. Is that if I'm miserable in my stability, am I then giving them an example that's going to make them run away from doing responsible things? Yeah. So how do I get out of this rut so that I can even be an even better example to my children? Because if my kids look at us and say, well, why should I why should I be doing the same thing like they did?
If you're miserable and, and you're trying...
Yeah, I want to be a better example to them. Yeah. I don't want my kids to run away from responsibilities or look at responsibilities. I'm serious.
Like, what's the answer to that question? I don't know.
Right. So, for us, it definitely is pursue, just continue to pursue it. And when the door's open, the door's open.
Hey, Kara.
But it's a matter of having fun with life when, with the life that you have right now. Mm-hmm. So it's
kind of like what we talked about last week with contentment.
Yeah. Yeah, it goes right into the same thing. Mm-hmm. We can dress it up differently, but it is kind of the same show as last week. But what are some of the things that an individual could do to kind of hop out of that rut of just saying, okay, what's next? Without making a spontaneous, or irresponsible move. What are some of the things? So, like, if you were giving a person younger than us, some advice, what would be one of the things that you would say to them? Because people go through this in different stages of life.
I think I would say, find a group of friends, of their peers, where they could maybe, I don't know, maybe they need an outlet as far as maybe some type of group
Yeah.
you know, that they can join, where they have something in common that they like to do, like a book club or, you know, just something to break the monotony of the everyday routine.
And so that's a good challenge. Some of that's a good challenge for yourself then, is to find something of that
I
nature.
just don't have any time to.
And I think sometimes things have to be important enough to make time, because it's like, it's either be miserable in life or make time for it.
Yeah.
You know, like there's always, there will always be an excuse to not do it. So like today, I really didn't want to run.
Yeah.
Really, really didn't. Really didn't.
Hi,
But
Raymond.
I got up today and just said, and just went for it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And so when I got up and went for it, it paid off for me. You know what I'm saying? Because I got a chance to be outside, see some things, think of some things, and I had this not a daydream, but I had this like surge of inspiration, and I literally got really tired, and I started picturing myself crossing the line of a marathon, the finish line.
Okay.
And I got emotional, which is kind of a bad thing to happen in the middle of running, because it causes you to exert more energy than you need to.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, although it stopped my run shorter than I wanted it to be, I needed to get up to get myself out of it. And it changed my tone for the rest of the day.
That's good.
Because I was looking at the rest of the day as task oriented. Oh, I gotta cook.
I gotta do this.
I gotta do this.
that.
I need to go to the store and get some soap powder, which I do gotta remember to do that when we get done with this. But like all of those things, went from task to just it'll get done when it gets done. And so I found myself in a better mood.
Yeah.
So the little bitty things that we can do every single day would be my advice. And I know we're giving each other. I mean, we asked the question.
Mm-hmm.
And so once again, we're posing this question to everyone who's paying attention or anyone that's watching. What are the things that you do when you can't figure it out? When you don't know what's next, what is it that you do to try to get out of that? Because we all survive it.
Yeah.
It's hard. I mean,
Yeah, you do. I mean, you look back on it and it's like, well, I made it through that.
yeah.
You
And
know,
when you
this
didn't
too
know
shall
what to do
pass,
next.
all of those things, it's like,
So for us, we're anxious about our future. There's something we've never really talked about on here before, that we've always believed God for one day we'll have more children. And in that's always been a source of anxiety.
only one more child, not children. Only one.
What do we got here? What did Cheryl say again?
She said, all I could do was keep doing the last thing God told me to do. Ask for wisdom and clarity and be okay with waiting for an answer.
Yeah, there you go,
There you
right
go.
there. Hey, Sharon and Shira.
Hey, y'all.
So I think for me, that's definitely the best thing.
And I think that's what I'm trying to do, but it just doesn't. It's just
And so
you know what I mean? Like I'm trying to find the joy in it, and it's just like, where's the joy?
yeah, and I think that's the thing for us doing this or mentioning this and being transparent about
Go
it.
back up. People are commenting.
Oh,
I can't
sorry.
see.
Sharon said, "Hey."
And then, go.
I don't know. Anyway, so we'll read it back later.
Okay.
But no, I think that's the key thing for us being transparent about that, is because think about we don't know when that'll happen,
Mhm.
and not being, but that means every time it doesn't happen, when you're being patient and you're expecting something and it doesn't happen, then how do you survive that? Because that's a disappointment.
Yeah.
And then that compiles on with the fact that you're still feeling like, I need something new. And you're waiting on something, plus you need something new.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, everything can compile to one point where if the dam breaks, then, you know what I'm saying, it's just, then everything floods you. And that's
Yeah.
where depression and other things come in.
So am I depressed?
I'm not a therapist nor a doctor, and I play one on television sometimes, just not today. But
I don't even know the signs of depression. I've
been diagnosed with it, and I think for me, it was hard for me to really take that cup. Like, that's the way I describe it, because I felt like one pastor shouldn't, like in my mind, like a pastor shouldn't be diagnosed with it. And the truth of the matter is, like, when you really review it, that's like was the stupidest thing to think, because we probably, of all people, would be more prone to it because we hear the worst of everything.
Right.
And we get the worst of, of most situations.
Yeah.
And so with that, I found myself having to fight it. And one of the best things that we have going is the fact that I do. That's why I have 3 different shows. Yeah. Because it's one of the things that returns me back to it. It does. It absolutely helps me. And here lately I've been really feeling the urge to pick my camera back up.
You need a new one now.
Yeah, it's old.
That one is out of date.
Yeah, it is.
But
all 16 megapixels.
But I don't, I guess I just don't know what I could do. I mean, I don't have any talent. I don't know. Maybe I'm just beating myself up just too much. Maybe I'm just being really hard on myself with trying to rise above,
Yeah.
Because everything is just feeling like a pity party.
Now, how many other women do you think feel like this? Because that's the main point of why we do our show, is to be real and transparent. Because for the most part, people can see you singing, doing praise and worship, and think she's usually chipper, and then you're always, you're kind of happy on here.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah.
But it's real that people should be able to see you say that. So other women experience that. So it's important to say it, but what's the other end? Like, so what are you going to do to try to rise out of it this week? Just pick one random thing. Because I'm always about a challenge. You said exercise? Okay, no, I'm just playing with you.
No, seriously, I've been really thinking about it. Like, it's been really heavy on me, because what I did do, in an attempt to, I was thinking maybe I'm just tired or just overwhelmed by all the running that I've been having to do lately and everything like that. So I went and got the B12 injection, which really, really did help as far as energy goes. But now it's like, now what do I do with that boost of energy? So maybe I should exercise. Maybe that's next. Here lately, I just been feeling like, when am I gonna do that? Like, tomorrow is, Braden's piano recital, and then he has practice. It's just one thing after another, and then we get home late, and then it's like, I need to go to bed because I gotta be up at 6:30 to get ready to go to work. And so it's like, how do you fit all that in? It's just like, right now, I know that probably would help, because it releases endorphins and all those things, and that boosts your morale. And so I just need to fit it in, I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll be up at midnight exercising. Who wants to join me?
I would say, for me, as you know, down through the years, I've found that I have a very busy schedule. And because of that, that's why I've always been the early morning. But you're not a morning person. But I think that's the thing. Don't label yourself not a morning person. Maybe become one by exercise. Because I didn't like getting up in the morning when I worked for the city. I hated getting up in the morning. Hated it. But then when we had to exercise, it got better. Because I resented mornings. I remember I used to be late sometime working there. So it was like I didn't.
I think you were late. You've always been a morning person from the time I met you.
Well,
you have.
I did not like getting up for that job.
That's what it is. That's what it was. But look, you changed that. See?
Yeah.
You changed that. For me, and then you have a job now where you can incorporate exercise into your day at any time.
Yes, I randomly do that.
You see?
We could be in the middle of a meeting, I'd be like, gotta go, boss, gotta exercise.
I don't have that luxury. Cheryl says, girl, I am right there with you. I feel like I've been walking in quicksand lately. Something big is coming. Well, I'm excited about that.
That sounds optimistic.
I like the optimism. I need that. I'm usually that person, and I wrote in my journal yesterday, and I was just like, God, what is it?
Yeah.
What am I doing? What do I need to be doing? I trust you, and I wrote all of those things, and because I do, and I know He's good, and I know I'm blessed, and I know we are blessed and everything, and it's just one of those quick spots in time that I'm just feeling a little out of sorts.
Yeah.
Zumba. There's always time for Zumba. That's what Tiffany said.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
Zumba.
they got it at the Y.
Yeah.
And then we got a DVD.
I like to dance.
Don't we got a Zumba DVD?
I
We
like to
do.
dance.
It's an old one.
I gave it to Liti.
Did you? Oh,
I did.
well, there you go. So,
Zumba.
this isn't one of those questions that we necessarily answered today. I mean, we did. I mean, you came to a better place than when we started, right?
Yeah, I'm
And that's
smiling
why,
today.
yeah, this is one of the good things about being transparent, and that's my advice to anybody: is if you're going through something, talk about it, but don't, and this is gonna sound bad. There's a difference between talking about it and getting to a point of solution and complaining about it.
Yeah.
And I think that's where when we talked last week about discontentment, like getting to that point where it's contagious, where if you get to complaining about something in one area of your life, then all of a sudden everything else just is blah, and nothing else is good enough, and you'll find fault in everything, and you all of a sudden it's joyless.
Yes.
And so,
Which is why I think that's why I've been journaling, just kind of me and God kind of dealing with it and not trying to force it on the family.
So as a husband, when my wife complains about something, or you may not view it as a complaint, you may just be saying, I'm so tired. As a husband, you may register it as, she's complaining about being tired. How do I fix that? That's the first reaction. Although, it's none of my business to try to fix it. You know what I'm saying? But that's going to be my natural reaction. What's Sharon say?
I just started a challenge called the All About Me Challenge. I was so unhappy with certain things in my life, so I decided it was time to change those things. I have to look that up.
The All About Me
Challenge.
That sounds like something Sharon would do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's all about her. Without Sharon, I would be nothing. All right, so is that a show? Or do you got some more?
No, I guess that's it.
You enjoying the playoffs? The Royals are actually winning right now. Let me not jinx it. Let me shut up. Are you enjoying the playoffs?
They're going to lose now because
Shut
you
up.
said that.
Shut
We
up.
have been
Shut up.
so... Maybe that's the problem. I haven't been having my teams to watch. They haven't been playing any Royals games on TV.
Yeah, welcome to being a real Royals fan. They won't care. Either they don't know or they won't show the Royals and what's been going down with them. Hey, so here's a real quick question. Braden gets his schoolwork done. He does. He's doing really good, right? If he does, and he comes to you and he says, Mama, for my birthday, I want some LeVar Ball shoes.
Oh, no.
No?
Absolutely
Even
not.
if they go on sale for $250?
Absolutely not.
No?
Absolutely not.
$195.
No.
$140.
100.
$100. I'm saying it like LeVar Ball. $100. It's creepy like him. You wouldn't buy him a pair of shoes? Why?
Because of my own personal reasons.
That's sad.
So if he said that, but I am not paying $500 for some tennis shoes. I apologize. I will not do it.
Yeah, it's early in the game. So, I don't know.
$89.99.
That's the limit. $89.99.
I love it, Tiffany. I probably would then. I would just have to put my feelings aside about this whole thing and say, okay,
$89.
$89.
Big baller brand. That's it. That's your limit on them. $89. I mean, I'll put you like this. I love what he's doing. I don't like the way he went about it, and I know people are criticizing it. And remember the initial rumors what they sold was 5,000, but it turned out to be what?
200, a little over 200 pair.
Yeah, and so I'm kind of at that point where I like the idea, because if they would have sold 5,000, that would have been like tremendous.
I think he's a businessman. I just don't like his methods.
Yeah. But I think it's very important, the message that he's saying. Now, he's going about it the wrong way, I agree, but the message that he's sending is one that we have to continue to send throughout our community in general, all communities, that, we don't have to buy into the system.
Yeah.
If they want to join in, they need to join in on the brand. Like, we don't need to just aim to be endorsers, but we need to own our brand.
Own our own brand.
And I'm not a big fan of the way he's going about it, or even the brand, because it looks kind of generic.
Yeah.
But I do like the heart behind it.
Right.
And I think I don't know if I would go out and buy anything at this point yet, just because once again it just looks generic. But
well, I mean, I'm still not paying $38 to $100 for a T-shirt either.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I think the prices are just
because we're not big ballers. That's the problem.
That's what he says. Yeah. He says, you know, I'm not marketing to you kind of people.
Yeah,
to you
he did not say that.
Well, he just said, you know, you can't afford it, then you're not the right clientele, basically.
Yeah.
So I can't afford it. So he's not talking to me.
As parents, that always brings up the age-old question: what's the limitation on how much money you'll spend as a parent? You know,
you promised Braden something that.
No, I did, but
he's taking a run with it.
Yeah, and I didn't say that I would get it the day that he comes home with the Grit card either. You see what I'm saying?
But I'm just saying, you did promise him.
I told him I would get him those pair of shoes, and they will go on sale eventually. Because I promised him back when 35 played for us, I promised him a pair of his shoes, and we got them when they was a sensible price. So there you go.
Hey, Sherry.
Hey, look, it's
Hey, Marcy.
There you go. All right, so we're about done then, right? Discontentment, we're done with that discussion. It was like a 2-week discussion. We disguised it this time. I was fooled by that. So
how were you fooled?
No, well, you know, you're not supposed to highlight when I say something that don't make sense. Now I gotta try to explain it. Now it's all awkward. All right, so for your own life, if you're thinking about different areas where you might be feeling some discontentment, or you're starting to feel like, you know, you just want to go to the next level, then what do? Got to try to figure out something new to do, something that's safe too. I think that's a key factor to always advise people on is don't try to bust out of your rut and do something that's not safe for your life.
Right.
Especially married people, because then that's when all of a sudden.
Thank you, cousin.
Other people start, you know, like the dude at the gas pump starts looking attractive, and
what?
Stuff like that. I was trying to think of something.
You went back to the story.
I did. I went back to like episode 4. Man. Yeah. But you get what I'm saying. No, I actually got that as an inspiration. I was watching The Simpsons just a minute ago, and from Sunday's episode, Marge was just feeling kind of like blah about her marriage, and then all of a sudden, Mo, of all people, Mo says like the bartender, start feeling. I'm like he's always felt some kind of way about Marge, and so all of a sudden, you know, the opportunity came there, and they kind of did the trading places thing, where where Montgomery Burns and his partner was like, I can break up that marriage,
and they let him know. You know, things ain't always greener on the other side, right?
It was a really good episode. You should watch it. You see how I just broke down The Simpsons? Like I could do a whole sermon off of that episode. I could. All right, we out. I'm dragging this out too long. I done gave a whole synopsis on The Simpsons.
Bye, y'all.